Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, and the Honorable Lecturer of English for Educators, Mr. Arif Nugraha and Mrs. Dea Silvani, and all of my beloved friends. First of all, let us thank to the Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Taala that has given us health so that we can attend the presentation today. Before we start the presentation, let's open our meeting by saying Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you. And for the next agenda, it is the presentation session. And for the first turn, will be given by the first presenter. And the material it is about description, which is going to be presented by Farrell. So Farrell, the time is yours.
All right, thank you to Rizky who has given me time to explain about the description of this method. First, I'm gonna tell you what do we call this method. We call this method is multimedia based in English teaching. And why we choose this method? Because this method, we think that it is very easy to use. Why we conclude that? Because as you know, this method can be used anywhere and anytime, and in any device that we got, like mobile phone or maybe laptop. And the description of this method is direct the learners to improve their English skills, especially their listening skill by using multimedia such as listening to music, watching movies, listening to audiobooks, and any other. Just like I said, this method can be used anywhere because it is about listening to music and other stuff that can be um, improve your listening skills anywhere. And the last is who can use this method? Uh, Everyone who has the competence in using this method, or maybe everyone who has the competence in using multimedia base. I think that's enough for me. I'll give it back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Farrell, for your great explanation about the description of the listening method. And now let's move on to the next material. It is about principles and procedures, which is going to be explained by myself. So yeah. So here in the slide, you can see there's a lot of principles. I'm going to explain you one by one. Okay, so first is stop talking. So if you want to understand the material, and also and it is important, by listening we have to stop talking so that we can comprehend the material and we can absorb all of the material. And next is prepare yourself to listen. So we have to prepare ourselves to listen so that we can listen to the material really well, so that we don't have to repeat it like for like 3-4 times. So that's like 1-2 times is enough, so that we doesn't take up so much time. Number 3, if it's the the material is from the speaker, we have to put the speaker at ease so that the speaker feel less nervous and can convey the material well and comprehensible, so that we as the listener can understand the material. Number 4 is remove any distractions. So we don't want to get distracted while we listening, because it is the least thing that we want to happen. So we can concentrate and listening to the material well, so that we have to remove any distractions. Number 5 is empathize. So we have to empathize so that we can understand, we can comprehend the material that were given by the lecturer, and we can also understand like really deep about the material that was given. And the next is be patient. We cannot in a rush. We cannot listen in a rush. So we have to be patient. We have to comprehend it. We have to understand it so that we have a good understanding about the material that was given. And next is avoid personal prejudice. So personal prejudice, it is having a negative attitude toward people. So we have to avoid any of that. We don't have to. We do not want to make any negative attitude to anyone. So that's why we have to avoid that. The next one is listen to the tone. Tone is really important because tone can determine what are the meaning of the words that were used in the listening material. So that's why we have to listen it really well so we can distinguish the tone, so that we can differentiate the words by hearing the tone. And the next is listen for ideas, not words. We have to understand the ideas from the material that was given, not just remembering the words, but we have to know the ideas, the main ideas. What is the main topic about the material that was given? So we're not remembering it by just words. And the next one is wait and watch for non-verbal communication. So gestures, facial expressions, and eye movements can all be important in understanding someone's full meaning. When listening, it is vital to watch and pick up the additional information by transmitted via non-verbal communication. So like the movement of the hands, like the when we see someone like biting their nails, those are some of the example of non-verbal communication. Next slide, please. And the next is procedures or stages. So first we have to introduce to the learners the media that we're gonna be used in that time. It's either music, movies, audiobooks, and so on. And tell them why we choose this particular media and the benefit of using this media, and so on, so that the learners won't feel confused when using the media. And next, after the media is introduced to the learners, we direct the learners to try to use the media that was assigned. And after they try to use it, we let them explore the media in order to make them improve. After they explore the media, we may ask their understanding and what they get from using the method. We may also give them some feedback so that they can learn from what they have listened in that time. In that time, I think that's it from me. Let's move on to the next material. It is about advantages and disadvantages, which is going to be presented by Siti Amelia. So Siti Amelia, the time is yours.
Okay. Thanks to the moderator for giving me time. So I will explain the advantages of using listening method in teaching English. The first one is more enjoyable. Students can enjoy and learn to listen to English with various media such as radio, songs, a film, or even audiobooks. That's why learning English using this method makes students enjoy it because they can feel relaxed when listening to a song or a story in a book and watching a movie. Next, easier to access. Students can easily listen to various songs to practice listening skills from various platforms such as Spotify or watch videos on YouTube. Next, vocabulary and structure improvement. Students can learn new vocabulary so that they can improve their knowledge and understanding of English vocabulary, and can improve structure such as using the correct structure of language or sentences. Unusual or rarely heard sentences that cannot be understood, or idioms and others. And the last one is pronunciation improvement. Students can find out how to pronounce a word by listening to many English native speakers speak. Next slide, please. Okay, so next I will explain the disadvantages of using listening method in teaching English. The first one is the lack of devices. Maybe there are still many students who may not have a cell phone because they do not have enough money. Next, unfamiliar with the other accent because the pronunciation of English in many countries is different. Next, not everyone has an easy understanding of mechanical processes, such as not understanding how to run an application to access media in practicing listening skills. And the last one is the lack of internet connectivity, because sometimes students find it difficult to get a good internet signal, so they feel less focused when listening to videos or songs on YouTube. Okay, that's all from me. I give it back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Siti Amelia, for your great explanation and presentation about advantages and disadvantages of using media in listening method. Okay, let's move on to the next material. It is about preparation, which is going to be delivered by Hilda. So, Hilda, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the moderator who allow me to explain the next material. So, before that, there are several things that the teacher must prepare to teach listening. First, providing media for students. There are lots of media that we can use to improve our listening skills, such as YouTube to listen to music and videos, television, Spotify, Netflix to watch movies, because we can improve our listening skills by watching movies in English. English course apps and others. And we can take one example of learning media that is easy for us to use in class. For example, we can use YouTube as a learning medium. Then second, we prepare the content because we take YouTube as a learning medium, so we can choose content such as music videos, interviews, short stories, news, and more. And finally, we made a course outline. Maybe that's all from me. I give it back to moderator.
Okay, thank you so much, Hilda, for your explanation about the preparation activity. And now let's move on to the next material. It is about warm-up activity, and which is gonna be delivered by Rita Aprilia. So Rita, the time is yours.
Okay, thanks to the moderator who has given me time to deliver the next material. When starting a listening lesson, it is important for the teacher to get the students into the right mindset first. Until students are focused, they are not going to retain new information. Warm-ups provide a way to refocus students' attention, and warm-ups are designed to grab students' attention and motivate them to participate. The way the teachers greet the students is as simple as say, "How are you today?" It is a good start. As teachers learn more about the students, we can vary our questions depending on their activities and interests. And then the teachers ask the students what they know about listening, help students connect what they already know, and ask questions about their personal experiences about listening. The teachers can also ask what genre they like most related to maybe music, drama, or anything else that still deals with multimedia based learning. And then the teacher asks the students what they like related to the media. The teachers can ask the students what media they like, so the teachers can align learning with what they like. Maybe they like only audio or audio by animation or whatever media they like. Maybe that's all from me. I give it back to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rita, for your your explanation in your about material. It is about the warm-up activity, and now let's move on to the next material. It is a co-activity, and which is going to be delivered by Dafik. So Dafik, the time is yours.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thanks to the moderator for giving me an occasion to speak about the next slide. What I'm going to talk is about the core activity. Yeah, for the first step that should be done in the core activity is media introducing. As well as we want to begin the class, we have to introduce the media that will be used in the learning activity first. Or what is the name of the media, the basic guide to use it, and the other thing concerning the media in the media learning activity. And the next is the listening activity. Yeah, this is where the game start. Yeah, this is the main course where we let the students and we instruct them to do what they have to. Yeah. And giving them an assignment at the course by listening into the media carefully and full of attention. We can ask them to write what they got from the listening activity, and also we may ask them to write a new vocabulary or idiom that they got from the listening activity. Then the learner may interpret or explain or even share what he or she got from the activity. After that, we may step into the exploring section where we may give them a spare time to explore the listening in media based, yeah, so that it may give the learner no boredom, yeah, and it will make them feel relaxed and enjoyed in the course. I think that's all from me. I return it to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dafik, for your great explanation about your material, the core activity. And now let's move on to the last but not least material. It is about warming down activity, which is going to be delivered by Firda. So Firda, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you to the moderator who has allowed me to explain the next material. The next material is a warming down activity that is 2 points. That is evaluation and feedback, and the next is doubt of clarifying. Okay, now in the clarifying, the teacher can explain or reform the material that has conveyed, so that the students do not misunderstand or have no doubt about the material that has been conveyed that day. So the teacher evaluates the materials that has been given and asks students which material is not understandable. Then the teacher also gives feedback to student after learning that day. Maybe that's all from me. I give it back to the moderator.
Thank you so much, Firda, for your great explanation about your material warming down activity. I think that conclude our presentation today. I would like to thanks to all the presenters for your great presentation. And I would like to remind that for anyone who has a question, you can type it down in the comment section down below. So yeah, finally, we have come to the last agenda. We would like to say thanks. Thank you so much for the presenters and all for the audiences for active participation. So hopefully the presentation will give benefits for us, and I'm sorry for the mistakes that we made. Thank you for attention. See you later. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.